What's up, couch potatoes? Welcome to Kouch Chronicles.
Where we talk about all things real life.
I'm Kristin.
I'm Kelsey, and this is episode 47.
47.
Welcome to the roast.
You guys, stick around. This is going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one.
And, I think it's about time that I, have a crash out episode. And I just, tell you guys what I've been through a little bit. It's kind of funny.
I wouldn't even say it's a crash out. I just think that sometimes people need to be
held
put on blast, held accountable.
And you know what? I feel like I'm not a mean person.
No, I feel like I'm probably going to feel like shit about this later, but.
Yeah, same. And I feel like I don't talk shit.
No.
Really that often. But tonight I am.
But
so stay
it's
tuned.
not like we're talking shit and making up rumors and shit like that.
No.
We're just going to be stating facts, but we are not going to leave out details.
I will be spitting absolute facts.
And I will be giving my opinion on the situation.
Real, honest, open. That's what we're here for.
Yep, exactly. We're talking about all things real life. And we're doing it
real life.
We're doing it as real as we can.
Yeah.
But this episode is not all bad.
No, it's not.
Kristin was supposed to go on a June date that we were really, really excited to talk about.
Yeah.
And circumstances changed and it is being delayed. So it will still be happening, hopefully.
We just don't know when.
Yeah, we just don't know when.
Time will tell, and also we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I did go on a date. I went on a lot of dates.
You did?
In June. I had a lot of fun. And so I just have to pick one that I want to talk about, and I already did. I already know which one I want to talk about.
Tell us. Tell us.
And
please tell us about it.
So I'm going to go first, and then we'll get into Kristin's story. Kristin's story is going to be the real juice of this episode. But we have a new character unlocked on the podcast.
What's his name?
I think we're going to go with Music Man.
Music Man.
So, also, you guys, I deleted my Hinge.
Woohoo!
5.5 years later, I deleted. Actually,
wasn't that on your resolution?
It might have been
6 months into the year, baby, and we did it.
I think I said out was dating and in was flirting, or out was Hinge. I actually don't remember.
I don't know. But
either way,
it was one of your things, I think.
Yeah, I've talked about it before, and I
we
finally deleted it.
I
just want to be clear that I have paused my Hinge. And I have not used my Hinge for long periods of time, when I was dating people more seriously and exclusively.
Yeah, of course.
But I did not ever delete it because I was never a girlfriend. And I'm until I'm a girlfriend, I'm not deleting that shit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's been 5 years. So I was like, okay,
dude,
it's time.
The trenches.
So anyways, it's deleted. Unrelated to the date story that I'm about to say. But I met Music Man on Hinge before I deleted it. And we've been on a few dates now.
Mm-hmm.
And date number 3 is the one that I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
So date number 3, this man invited me to his house to cook me dinner, which was really nice. His house is so beautiful too.
Is it?
Yeah. It's really nice. And he has this really nice backyard with this really nice pool, and he's always trying to fix it up. It's cute. Okay. And he is Music Man. So his whole entire living room is a legit studio.
Yeah. He's not just a Music Man for funsies.
Yeah. It's pretty legit.
It's kind of fun for funsies.
Yeah.
But it's more legit too.
It's for funsies, but it's legit.
Yeah. He plays shows.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. So I went to his house, and he cooked me a really nice dinner. We had steak, bacon wrapped asparagus, baked potatoes, and it was really good. He
Yummy.
was convinced that he overcooked the steak, but I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, you don't like when there's red.
I usually get my steak medium. This was probably medium well, but
okay.
It was really good. It was just good. And
I like my steak medium rare, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, I knew that, actually.
I just wanted to contribute to the conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, continue.
She does. Facts. Okay. And he loves to cook, which is great. I cook pretty much every single night.
Yeah.
And I don't not like cooking at all, but it's so nice that he loves to cook. Yeah. Like he really loves it. So he made me a really nice dinner. It was
Take
really
a step
good.
in my shoes for once. Someone else cooks for you.
And then after we ate dinner, he started playing music for me. And I was like, this could go one of two ways.
It could either be so cringe that you get the ick and you can never talk to him again, or it can be like the cutest, hottest thing ever.
Exactly. And that's what I was thinking when he grabbed his guitar and sat down. And I was like, this might be it for us. This could be the end. If you know me, you know I get the ick so fast.
So fast. And sometimes it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. So, anyways, he starts playing songs.
I would have been so scared when he went to start to go play.
Luckily, we also were drinking wine. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I have wine. Yeah. It's going to be fine. Keep in mind, I have been serenaded before without my permission.
And not by a musician.
No.
Not a real one.
No, not legit. He thought he was. He was not. And
like so bad.
Luckily, that time I was drunk. But also not luckily because it took everything in me to keep a straight face.
I would have laughed.
I was like staring at the bed like, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh.
I literally would have laughed.
I was texting the girls and I'm like, you guys will not believe. I think I have videos of it. Like, oh my God. Anyways, besides the point.
You do have videos of it.
That was crazy. This was not crazy. He was like, do you want to go? He's like, do you care if I like jam? You want to hear some songs? And I was like, yeah. I'm scared. Because I don't know how this will go, but let's do it. I did know that he was good. So I was like not as nervous, but like, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was really good. And then he starts playing on his guitar, Something in the Orange. And immediately I was like, I'm cooked.
Great song. Great song.
Such a good song. And then he played Slow Dancing in a Burning Room.
Slow dancing in a burning room.
And it was
How did that make you feel? No, like my rendition of it.
Oh. It was really, really good. So I did not get the ick.
Yay!
Yeah.
Small big wins.
I'm pretty sure I looked at him and was like, "Oh, I'm cooked."
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I said that. Yeah. So that was really good. He's just really good. And then we watched an episode of Love Island. And then I went home.
Yeah.
And we've hung out a few times since.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going really well.
She did watch Love Island without me, though, and that's like the show that we watched together, so it was kind of messed up.
Yeah. I did mean to text her before and tell her to watch it tonight.
Actually ask her if she texted me.
But I didn't because
she didn't text
it was
me.
Like 10 p.m. and I knew she was going to be asleep already.
It doesn't matter. I had to wake up to a text that said, "Hey, girl, I watched Love Island with Music Man."
That, or you wake up to a text that says, "Hey, watch Love Island," even though I know you're asleep. I'm watching it. I feel like it's
honestly,
the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Better. I would have been mentally prepared.
But I did text you in the morning and say that, so it's like the same thing.
No, you told me in person.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh. Whatever. Anyways. He did say at the end, he was
We're
like,
fighting.
Yeah. He's like, that can be a show that you just watch with Kristin.
Duh.
I was like, yeah.
Which is like so crazy of him because this season is like absolutely insane.
Yeah, but in his defense, he has not seen anything leading up to the episodes, and he had no idea even what it was.
That's fair, but I was at I was up north at my work's like main office, and we had like the safety training that we were going through. Also, I'm like CPR certified now, so
true.
True. I can save a life. Please don't make me though. And I overheard a few of the construction guys talking about how crazy Love Island was.
Really?
Like, and I didn't even contribute to any part of the conversation. I just heard it.
That's wild. But
yeah.
I wonder if they've been watching from the beginning.
Yeah, and they also all have like girlfriends.
Yeah.
Or wives. So.
Yeah, I've been really nervous to talk about this date for some reason. I didn't do it last week because I was nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we did something else. But here we are.
And yeah, it's still early. Like, we haven't talked about being exclusive or anything like that. Like, I'm assuming he's still dating other people. I don't really know. But yeah, it's going really well.
It's still early days.
It's early days in the villa.
Early days.
So we'll see. But yeah, it was just a really good date. I feel like I haven't had a good date like that in a while, like where someone like takes care of me like that, like cooks me a meal, you know? Like guys pay for really shit all the time, but like to me it's more about like the thought that goes into a date, not so much like the money spent on a date. Yeah. Which I'm sure that steak was not cheap, but still. Yeah, it was just really nice. I feel like dating right now is so fun for me because I feel like genuinely I'm only surrounded by good people right now.
I agree.
Like dating, life, friends, I just feel like it's good vibes all around me.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, that's it for me.
Yay!
And I'll definitely have a July date recap. So,
I won't.
You might.
I'm going to be up north. You guys, just like heads up.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to be sent up north again for a project.
Do you want to bring
the next month? I'm going to have my laptop with me so we can do this. But if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to have like 2 separate videos of us. We're not going to be together.
Yeah.
Physically.
The video will be together, but we will not be sitting next to each other.
Virtually and spiritually.
Yeah.
So.
That's going to be weird.
It's going to be so weird. I'm going to have to bring my mic and everything.
What are you going to plug it into?
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay, it's time to get to the nitty gritty.
Okay, you guys.
I want to start out by saying the original nickname for this man.
The original nickname for this man was 6'2", but
he has unearned that nickname because if that is your only redeeming quality, it no longer becomes your nickname.
Let me tell you right now, as of this moment, it is his only redeeming quality.
Yeah.
Like his only.
So we're no longer calling him 6'2" because
No.
No.
He has a few nicknames, but the one that we're going to stick with for podcast sake is, give me a drum roll. Pizza Hut.
Does he work at Pizza Hut?
Nope, but that one.
You might as well.
Might as well. Leave that one out to the imagination.
It's so funny because I have talked about this man to people, and like the people that I've told them like only the accurate information, right? And somehow even when they talk about it, they're like, oh, is it Pizza Hut guy? One person goes, oh, is it Little Caesars guy? I'm like, yep.
Didn't you have someone ask you if his name was Domino's or something?
Probably.
Like, it's just like pizza.
He's just Pizza Hut now. So our whole friend group calls him Pizza Hut, so that's just it now.
But I don't even know where to get started.
I'll start.
Oh, okay.
The moment that I really, really liked this guy a lot.
Okay, wait. So let me preface by saying, in the beginning, I was having fun. I did genuinely like him. And then things just like took a turn, and I feel like once I get through the rest of this, like people will just like understand. And I feel like there are some people who are going to be like, whatever. And then there are some people who are going to like get it.
Yeah. It's not like the worst thing that's ever happened, but
oh my gosh,
like,
no. And I feel perfectly fine. Like,
yeah.
Nothing happened really.
But it's one of those cases where you're like, where are you finding the audacity? Like, where are you finding it?
People shouldn't shock me anymore. Particularly men. But they do. They keep coming up with ways to shock me of like, this is actually how you live.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, this is how you are about living that way.
When I tell you some of the things that you're about to hear tonight,
so funny.
It has kept me up at night. Like, I will be laying in bed thinking about this shit and being so mad and just being like, what the fuck? That is so
funny that it's keeping you up at night because I've been sleeping like a baby.
I know. I think I'm more mad about the whole thing than Kristin is.
I think it's because during it, when we were still seeing each other, I was already just like, this isn't going anywhere. Like, yeah. I have a very good intuition. I do. And at the beginning, I felt good about it. And then it like twisted and I was like, like, I didn't like that he said this. I didn't like that he did this. I didn't like that he didn't do or say this or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, my gut is telling me like, this is not it. It's just not it, which is like fine.
I think I'm so mad because
you know how like girls mourn quote unquote relationships
while
before.
They're in it.
Yeah. I feel like that's what was happening with me.
Yeah.
But it was like more of a situationship kind of deal.
Yeah. I think I'm so mad because from the moment I met him, pretty much, I had a bad feeling, and I just kept being like, I hope this guy proves me wrong. Like, I really hope he proves me wrong. But it was like the more time that went on, I just hated him more and more. Like, I did not like him from the day that I met him.
Yeah. And you told me that.
Yeah.
And you were like very kind about it. Truly.
Yeah, because I felt like, especially after meeting him one time, I didn't know. But if you guys remember, we talked about that time, and he lectured me the first time meeting me about who I should and shouldn't date.
And to be honest, I kind of brushed it off at first. One, because I was like so hard eyes, rose colored glasses.
Yeah.
And two, because I was just like, he's like so drunk. Like he's drunk.
I know.
Like,
and I really didn't think that he had any ill intentions. And I'm not sure that I do now, but like now that I have seen his true colors, like more and more, I'm just like, who the fuck do you think you are to tell me that? Like, I'm sorry, but you're the last person I would ever take advice from. Like, I would never take advice from you.
I wouldn't even take advice from him if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, like, no thank you. I'm good.
Not anymore.
I'm so good. Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Well, it started with, I don't even know. Kelsey obviously told me that she wasn't a fan of him. And I was like, listen, I hear you. I support the way you're feeling. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. But I'm not going to end things with this man based off of your feeling. I need to just see this through.
And I knew that. Like, I told her because I'm like, I feel like you value people's opinions that are close to you.
100%.
And it got to the point where I had such a bad feeling about it. I have never not liked anyone that Kristin's dating. No,
yeah,
honestly,
he's the very first one that Kelsey has not liked from the get-go.
Yeah, everyone else, I'm like, he could be the one. Like, every time. Oh,
Sagey's out exploring.
But this one I did not like from the day I met him. I really liked him until I met him.
And like I trust Kelsey, obviously, and I trust her opinion. But again, like,
well, I've dated some questionable people, so it's like, meh.
And also, like, I tell you my opinion, so like it's only fair that you tell me your opinion. Like, it's fair that there's an open street here.
And I always ask first. I'd be like, do you want me to tell you? Like, I don't.
And yes, and I always do, because I rather you tell me everything besides like only telling me some or not telling me at all when I know that you feel a certain way. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I'm not very good at like
hiding
honestly
your feelings.
No, and
me either.
Normally it doesn't really matter because I like everybody. Like, I feel like I do see the good in people, and like I'm just very optimistic about everything. Yeah. Like, probably too optimistic.
Feel like he was a very big personality, and you are too, but in completely different ways.
Yeah. And
I guess he's just a little bit more off-putting.
Yeah, and when
you're not at all.
When I talked to him, like, I enjoyed our conversations.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about that. It was just like I just had a bad feeling. And like little comments he would make, I was like, no, I do not trust this guy at all.
But let me set the scene. So I think we were dating for like a little over 2 months maybe. But like from the get-go, he was like, you're cool. Like, whatever. Like, complimenting me. Like, it was normal. I didn't interpret anything he did as like love bombing.
Yeah.
Up until
I did, I think.
Up until that night that we went out together. Mm-hmm. I guess our second date.
The double date.
The double date.
No, that was more than your second date. Because
you're right.
You liked him after your second date with him.
You're right. Because after my first date, I was like, meh.
Yeah. You already liked him at this point.
Yeah, you're right. So we go on this double date, and while we're on the double date, he is like telling me like, I see this going somewhere, and and like kind of just like doubling down on that. And I was like, oh, cool, like whatever. Like, if you know me, you know that I don't trust anyone. But I already like this guy, and from his actions and what he's doing, like, it does seem like he genuinely likes me too.
And when you like someone, like, you want to believe that they like you.
Yeah,
too.
and
so
I want to hear.
It's easy to believe that stuff.
And like, you also want to hear these things from the person that you're seeing. And at this point, he had not given me any like anything to doubt.
Yeah.
That what he was telling me was not true.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
And like, to be honest, even now, like, whatever. Never mind. Whatever.
Okay.
So that is just like setting the scene of like he would say these things of like, I see this going somewhere, and he would like make plans for like pretty far in the future.
Yeah, he invited you and me to some festival or something.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it's happened yet. I don't know, maybe it has.
Yeah, it has happened.
Oh.
But yeah, so like it was all like, I was like, oh yeah, like I am feeling the same way. Like I like this, but at the same time, I'm still dating other people.
Yeah.
So I'm still going on dates with other people. He didn't know, but it wasn't any of his business.
Yeah, it didn't ever come up.
We never had the conversation of being exclusive, like all of that. So like I, of course, was still on Hinge. I'm still talking to other people.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling me that he hasn't been using Hinge, and whatever. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. But like, if you don't say the words, like, I'm not going to try and like read between the lines here. Like, if you want to be exclusive, like, you have to say that straight up to me, or else, like, I'm not interpreting what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't
like,
care how much I like you or how much you act like you like me until you have that conversation with me. Like, I just can't. Because I have been burned so many times by that. Like, it doesn't matter how bad I want to. I'm not.
Like, literally say it with your chest. Like, you're a man. You are in your 30s. Like, grow up. Like, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel that way, also man up and say those things.
Right.
Is all I have to say.
Communication. It's really not.
Communication is like crazy. So
I want to add that at one point, you guys came home from a date. I was in bed. And that's another thing that was so annoying about this dude is every time you guys hung out, it was like a weeknight and he was like getting you drunk every time.
Yeah.
And then you bitches would come in here and wake me up when I'm trying to sleep. And then I'd have to be awake late. And one time they did that and he's going over and over, she's spoken for. I look him in the eyes and I go, she's single. Yeah, no, she's single. Like, and he would you're not going to date her because you're a piece of shit and I know it.
But he would also tell people in public, like strangers, of like, oh, no, like, she's spoken for. Like, not her. Like, she's taken. And I'm like, fuck you. Like.
You're like, little do you know.
There was like, at the beginning part of me was like, oh, I am.
Yeah.
I guess I am. Like, that feels special.
Yeah.
And then, like, the more it went on, I was like, bitch, no, I'm not.
Yeah, because you weren't.
I wasn't.
I wasn't
the whole
talking
time
to someone else the whole time.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I love, and I hope he watches this and learns that.
So, I feel like there's a lot that happened. I'm going to mainly talk about our last conversation that we had.
Yeah, I feel like that's the
because
kicker.
After all of that, this is like what it really came down to.
But you have to give a little disclaimer that you had a couple conversations similar to this already about like the communication and stuff.
Yes. So he just isn't the best communicator. And to be honest, that was already a red flag, because if a guy wants to talk to you and wants to make time for you and text you and call you, he will. Yeah. He will, 100%. I don't, like, unless you're literally working a job that you actually can't look at your phone for 2 seconds, or like it's something that like you actually can't have your phone on you, which is like not at all what he does. Like, that I understand. I don't like to be on my phone when I'm like in the zone working either.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to talk to someone, you would talk to them, and that's it. You make the time.
When you have a second, you just do it. Or like, there's no way that man
is that
was
busy.
That busy.
No,
like there's
I agree.
No way.
There's no way he was that busy. Like, if it came out that he had a whole separate life, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, me either.
As far as I know, he doesn't, or I haven't learned about it yet. But I'm just saying, like, that's how, like, quote unquote busy this man was. And a lot of the time I would just get a text at night when I had already fallen asleep, and I would wake up to it. And then I would like text him back when I woke up. And like every once in a while we would have like a conversation, and I'm not someone who like really needs to talk to someone every day, but it got to a point where the more we were getting to know each other, the more we were hanging out, that I was just like, if this guy actually liked me, like, this communication wouldn't be this way.
Yeah.
Like, we would be communicating more. It was in my head. I was like, I really like don't feel like I know him on like a really good level at the point that we're at. Like, it has only been like a month and a half, but like I just feel like I just should know him better.
Yeah.
And like I shouldn't feel like awkward at all.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Like, one of the first things that drew me to him was on our first date. I was not anxious at all. I was so calm. And now that I think about it, I thought that that was because of him. It was 100% me.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't anxious at all because I was confident going into that because I didn't care where it led.
Yeah.
But I twisted it in my mind and thought that he was the reason why I was calm and not anxious.
Yeah.
When it's just me.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm the
agree
reason.
wholeheartedly.
Anyways, so that's a little backstory.
So they had the conversation like a couple times where she was like, I just need a little bit more communication.
Oh, yeah.
Like I need to know that you like care and like you're interested in blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, yeah, you're so right. Like I'll get better. And then continued to not get better.
Not get better and sometimes get worse. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, this is like messed up, whatever. And then there was one night that he FaceTimed me. We had our girlfriends over for the weekend and he had FaceTimed me like after we were all going to bed. And so we were talking in bed and he basically like looks me in the eye through FaceTime and goes, I know that I haven't been treating you well. And I like, it was almost like a switch flipped when he said that I was like, oh, so you are fully aware. You are fully aware of what's going on here.
You were kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, maybe he really is busy, maybe it's not intentional.
Yeah.
But like now you're like, oh, he knows.
Like he knows the way that he's been treating me this whole time and like the fact that he hasn't been communicating even after we've had a conversation about communication. And I like, whatever.
Honestly, and what I remember too about the whole thing is the timing of when the communication drastically changed was super shitty.
Yeah. So the communication drastically changed kind of after, okay, pause. If anyone in my family is listening to this, I advise you to stop listening for the next
30 seconds.
like 30 seconds.
15 seconds.
Just skip ahead. So the conversations and the communication got shittier after we had slept together. Which, how do I want to say this?
He's a little bitch.
Yeah. I was a little underwhelmed in the bedroom. Take with that what you will. But I was just slightly, if not very, underwhelmed in the bedroom.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is stressful.
And I'm not going to talk about that further. That's where I'm going to leave it. So, like, interpret that how you will. I was very nice about it to him. I did not tell him that I felt that way, but I think it was kind of obvious if you really looked at the signs. Like, listened to them, like, felt them, or didn't feel them at all.
Holy shit. Okay. We really are not holding back.
I don't want you to cut that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm horrible at telling stories if you can't tell. I never get to the point. But yeah, so that was just like a turning point, I think, communication wise. And I think I
clocked that shit. As soon as it slowed down after that, I was like, oh yeah.
But
he
mostly
is a little rat.
But mostly because I have a boundary that I hold on to. And if I don't feel comfortable, then I will not cross this boundary with you.
And it's a boundary that has a very good reasoning.
I have, and it's not like it needs a reason.
No.
In all honesty, but the
fact that it has such a good one.
Yeah, it has a very good, very bad, very whatever. Very valid reason behind it that I don't cross. And his first reaction to me telling him that boundary the first time that we were together was not good.
Yeah.
And he was like not really happy about it, but then we talked it out and I thought it was fine. And then the next time we talked about it, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to tell him why this is my boundary. I felt comfortable telling him that. I still feel fine that I told him that. Like, I'm glad that I told him because it's just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, this is why it's my boundary. And when I told him that, he was very understanding and very like sympathetic and was like, oh my God, like blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm sorry, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I was like, okay. So like he understands it. Did he deserve like that explanation? Probably not. But I felt comfortable telling him that.
Yeah.
So fast forward to our last conversation.
Mind you, at this point, pretty much all of our friends are on board with not liking Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
We are Team Houston.
Yeah.
We are Team Houston of the two men.
And we may or may not talk about Houston in the future. It really depends on him.
And Houston is not his name, by the way. Houston is, in fact, a nickname.
Yeah.
But Kristin was also talking to Houston this whole time, which I think is the best part of all of this.
Well, I wasn't a girlfriend. I wasn't exclusive with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, if you want that, have that conversation. And
Houston gave you way more attention. You got to know Houston way better than Pizza Hut.
100%. And
yeah, all of our friend group was definitely Team Houston.
Yeah.
And none of us have met him, including Kristin.
So our last conversation, I meet him at a Happy Does bar by us, which like
great
love,
place.
incredible, like will always be one of my all times.
Yeah.
And he like we were drinking beer. We had one bucket of beer because it was a game day and they have like a game day special. So it was like 5 beers. So we were talking, but the whole time that we were talking there in my head, I'm like, you are fucking annoying.
No, and Kristin's texting me during it, giving me updates, and I'm sitting there telling her like, okay, make sure you stand your ground. Like, did he say it like this or like that? Like, I'm like, I know that it's much harder to have these conversations in person because people can be so manipulative.
Yeah.
And they can say things certain ways and they can make jokes and they can make you feel really good about the conversation. Then you walk away from it being like, damn, I wish I would have said this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like usually that's what happens to me. But in this situation, I was like, no. Like, if I don't say something, like, by the end of this date, like, I'm going to be mad at myself and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep, like, hanging on to something that's obviously not going anywhere. And I had come to terms with that. So, he wasn't feeling well. Okay? He wasn't feeling well.
Oh, that makes me so mad.
We have these, like, cough drop, like, throat drop lollipops that Kelsey had when, like, you were sick.
Yeah, I almost died.
Yeah, so I grabbed, like, a few to bring with me to the bar when I went to go meet him because I was like, oh, he said he was sick, like, a little bit of a sore throat, whatever. Like, I'm going to bring him this. Like, he said he was coughing. So nice of me.
Thoughtful. He didn't ask for that.
He didn't ask for it, and I was like, oh, my gosh, like, we have these, like, let me bring him, like, a couple so he can just have them. So I give him one when we get there. You guys, he did not even say thank you. Like, I thought back on it, like, after the whole day, and he did not one time say thank you for it. So after we left Happy Does, we went and got, like, his car and drove to our apartment to park his car.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're in the car, he's... Okay, wait. Roll back. A few dates prior, his idea was to make playlists for each other with our top 5 albums of all time. Right?
Right.
Just take that in. No one has ever asked me to do that. No one has ever done that for me. I feel like it's like such a cutesy thing to do. Yeah. This guy ruined it. But so that's what we did. It had been probably a few weeks, and he had finally listened to mine.
You started listening right away.
Like, immediately. I started listening to his immediately. Like,
it was his idea.
It was his idea. His playlist is on my Spotify,
look at him.
and
He's
my playlist
asleep.
is in his, like, Apple Music library. We are coming back from Happy Does, coming back to my place, and he goes, oh, I listened to your playlist. And I literally went, oh, you finally did? After all this time? And he was like, yeah, I just, like, finally, like, had time to, like, sit down and listen to it, or whatever he said.
So busy. Pizza Hut is
busy.
So busy. No one's busier than Pizza Hut.
No.
Nobody's busier than
He
Pizza
wasn't
Hut.
listening to music, like, at all during that whole time. And I go, oh, okay. How did you like it? Like, did you like it? My favorite band of all time all time is Lainey. Okay?
Like
Malibu Nights,
Lainey got her through some shit.
Malibu Nights, that whole album is the most beautiful album I've ever listened to. It like saved me in a few different ways. Like, it's just the best. I never skip a song off of it. End of story. He goes, yeah, I thought they were a little bit whiny, you guys.
And he knew how you felt about them too.
Yes, he knew. And I went, I'm sorry? And he goes, yeah, they're just like a little bit whiny. And I was like, that is fucked up. Like, that's fucked.
And it sounds so silly.
It does sound silly, but like,
it's not silly.
That that's my favorite band of all time. I have communicated that with you, and I've also communicated, like, that band has gotten me through some shit, and you are going to listen to my favorite album of all time, and you're going to look at me and tell me that they're just, like, they're a little whiny.
I just feel like when you really care about someone,
you
the
like
things
what they
that are
like.
really important to them, like, you care about. Whether you like the music or not, like, you just kind of do like it because you know that it's important to them.
Yeah, and I have one of Mac Miller's albums in that playlist too. And he was just like, I've just like never been a Mac fan. And I was like, what the fuck?
Immediate red flag
no,
there.
Literally.
Anyways.
I was like, who isn't a Mac Miller fan?
Like, yeah, the fuck?
Anyways, so that was a conversation we were having on the way to our place. And then we have a bar that's like, or a brewery that's on the same block as our apartment building. And so we ended up going there after and getting a couple drinks and some chicken tenders, I think. And we were talking.
Well, pause. Kristin texted me and was like, hey, we're at this place if you want to join. And I texted her back and I said, you know, I would, but I fear I will not be nice to Pizza Hut. So I'm going to stay here. Yeah. And I would not have been. I know I wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And I'm a very nice person. But it takes a lot for me to be mean to someone, but I was so fed up with this guy at this point. I was like, nah.
I am also glad that you didn't, because if you were there, I don't think I would have had this conversation. Yeah. Because it took like a lot of strength internally to like actually bring this up and to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I just am not confrontational. Like, I feel like I get so anxious and I'm like, I know that if I don't just like spit it out, I'm just going to be mad at myself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm having this conversation. So he went and got like a couple of beers, sits down. I can't even remember what he's talking about. And I go, can we talk about what you told me on Saturday? Like during the FaceTime? And he goes, oh, like what? He said something and I went, no, the part that you literally told me that you didn't treat me well. And he goes, what about it? And I go, explain that to me. Like, I just want you to explain that to me. And so he was like making up excuse after excuse and da-da-da, and that he likes me, but blah, 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 blah.
But he's so busy. Let me just tell you.
Busy. And
Kristin and I with real jobs are not busier than him.
You know what he also said?
What?
The distance.
The distance? The 20-minute drive?
The 20 minutes.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This man came up with every excuse in the book. He was pulling shit out of his ass, and I knew. She told me one thing that he said before they were really like getting rocky, and as soon as she told me that he said it, I was like, Kristin, he's going to use that as a reason to break up later.
Yeah.
He's going to use that as an excuse later. He's planting the seed.
And he like was planting seeds, and I started to pay attention to them. And then finally we're having this conversation, and he says that, and he says a couple other things, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, that's fine. Like, we're not in a relationship. Or he would like say something, and I'd be like, okay, well, you've never invited me to do that.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, like that
like,
is
I want to
valid...
do this, and this, and we haven't done it. Okay, well, you haven't invited me to do that.
You
like,
haven't invited me to do it. You haven't asked me to do it. That has never been an opportunity that has been presented. So like, don't use these as excuses, because like you can very much like grow up and do it.
Yeah.
And so he was saying all these things, and finally I cut him off and I go, listen, I was so proud of myself, you guys. I was so proud of myself.
It's a good one.
I literally looked at this man and I go, if I had what you have sitting right in front of you, I would not be fucking it up right now. Verbatim, word for word, I said that.
And his reaction to that?
Well, at first he was like a little speechless, and then he goes, oh, like that's confident.
Like, as in, I feel like I take that as like, oh, you don't think she should be that confident? Like, you're surprised that she's that confident?
Well, I didn't take it anyway. I just went, it's not confident. Like, I just know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not this.
No, he's a fucking loser. Like,
but
he's such a loser.
Then during this conversation, he... Okay, I told him that financially I'm just, like, not doing that great.
Yeah.
And I had to get a little help in that department last month. And this month.
And next month.
And next month. But, like, only a little bit.
Only temporarily.
Yeah. Only for, like, a couple days.
Okay.
Or a day. No, 2 days. Anyways, not important. So I had already told him this, and I was, like, basically telling him, like, I think maybe I should find a second job, and, like, it's really stressing me out, and I just went through this, and da-da-da, whatever. This man then goes... I'm getting, like, so mad. Like, I know what you're about to say, and I've already... This man, as an excuse, goes, as I'm telling him all this, I think as I'm presenting to him how he's not treating me well, that maybe he hasn't picked up on, or that I'm finally calling him out for, because I don't think he expected me to call him out for anything.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I notice that whenever we go on dates, you never pull out your wallet to pay.
Can you imagine? They've been dating for, at this point, 2 months. 2 months.
This man is in his 30s. I just told him I was, like, financially, like, not doing well. And then he's going to look me in the eye and tell me that one of the things that rubs him the wrong way is that I don't get my wallet out to pay for our dates. First off, it's a lie.
Get your shit together. I'm embarrassed for you. For you.
First off, I think he was just, like, reaching for something, because that was a total lie, because I have paid.
Because he needed excuses to leave. Like, men, when they want to leave, instead of, boys, when they want to leave, instead of just being a fucking man and saying, like, hey, I don't see this going anywhere, or anything, I don't know, honest, they like nitpick at you and say, like, stupid little things that actually don't matter. And, like, so many women are then like, oh shit, like, maybe if I would have done this and this different. No, it doesn't matter what you would have done.
No,
because that's not the real reason.
I think this was, like, really the first time I felt secure enough of, like, I straight up called him out. I go, well, that's not true, because I have.
And it's not even true. You've literally paid for dates, not even just taken out your wallet. Like, you have paid for dates.
I've paid. So I was like, well, first of all, that's not true. And he's like, what? He's like, well, yeah, because I, like, announced that you're paying. And I'm like, no, it's because my wallet is already out and I'm paying for it. You're not announcing anything. I have
what
no
do you
idea
mean
what
you're
the fuck you're talking
announcing
about.
That you're paying? What do you mean? What does that even mean?
Because, like, there were a couple times that he was like, oh, she's paying. But, like, it was those times where I already had my wallet out to pay.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, yeah, like, I'm paying.
Yeah.
But, like, also, like, what?
Like, sorry. So you're gonna be 33. He's 33.
Yeah.
You're gonna be 33 years old, and butthurt that a girl you've been dating for 2 months isn't offering to pay every single date when like, you probably were offering.
Yeah. Also, I am pretty progressive when it comes to, like, being a female or being a woman and, like, doing things myself and being independent and not having to, like, depend on anything a man does. Like, I'm very progressive when it comes to that area. But fuck you. I think that you should be paying. Like, you should be paying for me. It is out of the goodness of my heart that I'm paying, but it's mostly because I hate when people spend money on me.
Yeah.
So it's coming from a place of guilt and not from a place of, like, I want to spend money on you.
And you know what? The shitty thing about it is, like, yes, I think that women should pay for dates sometimes. I pay for dates sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. But
to have it thrown in my face. Yeah.
To call a girl out for that.
Which, can I just say,
when you're not even doing that?
We never ever went on, like, a nice date. Like, a nice, like, but, like,
where
a nice,
the fuck
like,
is a Pizza Hut gonna take you?
I know, but, like, not a nice dinner date. Like, we never did that.
Did he ever cook for you or anything?
No. We always went out. Like,
that man is You guys ever heard the song Man Child by Sabrina Carpenter? It was actually written about him.
Facts.
And I don't think that man even knows how to cook, probably, besides a fucking pizza.
Probably not. But yeah. So not only that, okay, so I have 3 things left to talk about. Third is he's 33 years old. He lives in a house with 2 other roommates. Whatever. Like, whatever. We're in San Diego. It's expensive. That's how life gets sometimes.
Yeah.
That I wasn't judging because I am almost 30 with a roommate.
And we will probably be roommates
forever.
For the rest of our lives, probably.
So that's not what I was judging him for. What I was judging him for was him telling me that his daddy bought him a mini fridge, like bought and shipped with daddy's money to him to have in his room, a mini fridge. And he was
Is this college? Are we in college?
No, literally. And then he's telling me how in this mini fridge it has a freezer compartment as well. Like, we're bougie.
Wow. Congratulations.
He has juices. Like, I think he was like orange juice and like Gatorade.
Oh,
and, like,
he is a literal man child.
And in the freezer he had like frozen meals.
That man can't cook, I'm telling you. I don't think he knows how to cook.
I literally was like, you can't just like walk downstairs to the kitchen. And he was like, no, that's like so far away.
He's lazy in every single aspect of his life.
Yeah.
He is lazy in every aspect of his life.
He's a lazy person. But yeah, so he told me that, which was like so crazy. I think when he told me that, because he told me at first at Happy Does that his dad did this for him. And that I already knew that this wasn't going anywhere. That for sure gave me an ick that I will never get back. Because the more I thought about it, I was like, ew, 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 ew. Like, ew. Get away from me. Ew. And I even made fun of him, like, in his face. I was like, what are you doing? And then he was like,
what are you doing?
He was like, I never have to leave my room. I'm like, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing to say. That's embarrassing to say.
I like, cannot stand this man.
Okay. Second to last thing.
He also seems like the type of person who does nice things for people for the recognition or for something in return. Or to throw it in your face later.
I got that impression as well. Second to last thing. If you're still listening, how I mentioned I have this boundary that we talked about. We had resolved. We had talked through it. I had told him my reasoning why. In this conversation, he brought back up that boundary and looked me in the eye and told me it was silly.
I do not know how in that moment you didn't stand up and walk away from that table. I was livid when you told me that.
I honestly think that my head did spin, but I kept my cool. And I was just like, I remember looking at him and I'm going, you still think that that's a silly rule even after I told you what happened? Like, why that is my rule? And
actually,
he looked at
disgusting.
Me.
He's disgusting.
And he looked at me and he goes, no, I get that. I just think that, like, it's different with everyone. And I like it brings me a closeness with my partner. And I'm like, no, you're just selfish.
He's selfish.
You won't get over this. It is the only thing that probably makes you feel anything because you don't feel anything otherwise because of your underwhelming performance. But, like, I'm not, like, that is my boundary. You're not going to guilt me because you feel a certain way into me crossing my own boundary for you when I already know that this isn't going to work out and go anywhere, and you're being an asshole and you're calling me silly to my face for having this boundary because of something that something traumatic happened to me. And that's why I have that boundary. And
on top of all of that, all he has to do is make a commitment to you.
Yeah.
All he has to do is make a commitment to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard.
Which leads me into the last thing that he said during this conversation that I was like, oh, fuck you. And I do kind of wish that I crashed out a little bit because it would have just been, like, kind of fun. But there were people around, and I like to keep my composure, and I never want to look crazy. Which I think that he probably deserved me acting a little crazy now that I think back on it. But whatever. I'm still proud of myself.
I wish I would have, like, marched myself down there and gone off on him for you when you told me this.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me this part till the next day, I think.
Yeah. I'm still proud of myself for being calm, cool, and collected, and then just like moving on with my life.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I was upset, but like I moved on with my life pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, last thing that he said is we got into the topic of dating other people, and he goes, I'm not seeing anyone else.
Which is probably a lie if you ask me.
Yeah, but like whatever. He's like, I'm not seeing anybody else. I've barely been on my Hinge, whatever. And I'm like, I still have my Hinge, but like I'm like not really seeing anybody else because technically true.
Technically true. Was she talking to someone else? Yeah.
I'm talking to other people. I'm not going on dates with anyone else, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Like physical in-person dates.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And so I'm not lying to him. And he goes, but like, I am not talking to anyone else. You can do whatever you want. But if I find out that you're talking to other people, I will not want to talk to you anymore.
I just like all of those words in a sentence don't make sense together.
I'm going to repeat it. Can I repeat it?
Yes, please. Share with the class again.
I am not seeing anybody else. You can do whatever you want. But if I find out that you are seeing other people, I will no longer want to see you.
Translation.
I don't like you.
No. Translation is you can do whatever you want except see other people because then I'll leave. But I'm still not going to make a commitment to you.
Right. So you're you're trying to make a commitment without the commitment. You're trying to make something without anything.
You have the freedom to do whatever you want. Like, this is a free situation. Right. We're free. But if you do that, then I'm out.
While also trying to, like, control a little bit too much. And like, you're asking a little bit too much for not actually giving anything.
You don't get to have somebody be loyal to you and committed to you without making a commitment.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't. Even if it's just, hey, I really like you. I see this going somewhere. Like, I'd like us to like just focus on each other and see where this goes. Great. No problem. I will stop talking to everyone else. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Or eventually like, hey, I want to lock this down. Like, I want you to be my girlfriend. Great. Yeah, that's a commitment. Both of those to me are commitments. Like, you're either committing to see where it goes without seeing anyone else.
Yep.
Or you're committing to being in a relationship.
And that wasn't said. What was said was, you can do whatever you want. I'm not talking to anyone else, but if you talk to anyone else, then I don't want to talk to you anymore.
It's basically him saying like, hey, I'm not talking to anyone else right now. My options are still open. Therefore, yours can still be open. But if you choose someone over me before I find someone else, then I'm not going to talk to you anymore. So you better not try and find someone else while I'm probably actively looking for other options.
Yeah. Exactly. So then this conversation basically ends with that, and then with him inviting me over to his place. And I was like, I literally looked at him and I go, no, you're literally sick. I don't want to stay with you.
I would have been so mad if you stayed with him. Yeah,
and then we parted ways. He drove home, and during that conversation, we had also talked about communication, and I had also told him, like, I don't need to talk to you all day, every day, because that's not going to happen. But, like, a text at, like, the end of the day, or, like, a call.
Or like, good morning.
Like, anything else.
Have a great day.
Just, like, a check-in. Perfect. Fine. Like, again, we're not anything, so you don't owe me anything. But, like, obviously, if you're interested in someone, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
So that is another conversation that we had. That was probably the third time we talked about communication, which is already 3 times too many, in my opinion. At least 2 times, but definitely 3 times too many with this man. And he then proceeds to not text me at all for the next 2 days.
At all. Zero communication.
Did not hear from him at all. And I was like, fuck you, actually.
Yeah, because I feel like at that point you were like, okay, I'm just going to see if he changes or if communication picks up. And if not, then we'll hang out and I'll end it in person.
Yeah, so my plan was, okay, like, that's fine. I'm going to give him some grace. And then I think that this is a conversation that deserves to be in person because we have already gotten this far and it's not going anywhere. And I think that that is just like the adult thing to do.
Right. But keep in mind, he's a man-child.
Yeah,
so he
but
doesn't
keep
know
in mind he's a
adult ways.
man-child. And then I am getting ghosted after all of this. And so I sent him.
And he said nothing the night before. Nothing to indicate that, like,
no, he
that
invited me over.
Yeah.
He was making plans. He like talked about like how he hated the fair. And then I was talking about wanting to go to the fair. And he was like, we should go to the fair. And I go, you hate the fair. You literally told me you hate the fair. And he goes, no, I hate who I am at the fair.
What the fuck?
And I literally
hate who you are at all times. So
I was like, I don't know what that means. But like in my head, I'm like, no, like you're like, I think he was trying to get past the conversation by trying to make plans and talk about something else so we didn't have to make him feel uncomfortable anymore.
Yeah.
But in reality,
because
like,
he can't do anything serious in his life.
Yeah.
Like, no.
So anyways, well, actually, no. After that, we had texted for the next couple days. And then after our last texting conversation where he never responded back to me, which is like fine. It was like just a basic conversation. After that conversation where I told him that 2 of my friends were moving out of state and I'm just like really sad about it, whatever.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, yeah, damn, they're going far. And I was like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm like more sad.
Yeah.
And he had never responded to that last text of me telling him that I was sad. And so it was just like, okay, fuck off. And then I didn't hear from him for 2 days after that. And I was like, I'm going to give him just one more day. And then there's always a part of me that's like, just don't text, like whatever, let it go. But at this point, like he obviously was not going to be reaching out to me.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, this man is not going to think that he can reach out to me and I'm going to carry on as normal.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
He's not going to have that option. So for me, I wanted to shut it down.
Yeah.
So obviously, instead of having this conversation in person, I just sent him a text and I'm going to read it. So I sent him. It's so formal. I said,
girls, when they break up with a guy, it turns into like a professional, like, fucking interview.
I said, hey, based on your lack of communication, I can see that this is no longer going anywhere. After our conversation where we talked about how consistent communication is something that I need, and then getting zero communication at all for the last few days, it's clear that you don't value the same things that I do. You've made it very clear you're okay with the bare minimum, and I've realized maybe I've invested too much time into someone who's comfortable with that when I know I deserve a lot more. Wishing you nothing but the best! Exclamation point.
I honestly wish you wouldn't have added that last part because I don't wish him the best.
Yeah,
I wish him.
I just think it was like I needed to add that for my own like peace of mind of like, you know what, whatever, fuck you. This isn't going anywhere. And like wish you the best, but like it's a wish you the best with like a snark,
with like a that his life's not going
like wish you the best,
truly good
fuck
luck.
You actually, and that was sent on the 18th of this month. We are recording this on the 29th, and he never responded.
Did not respond.
I have not heard from him. He has watched my Instagram stories, so like he's alive. But yeah, he never ever responded. So that right there already sealed, like it was already sealed, whatever, done. But that further confirmed to me that he is a fucking loser. He's a loser. He will never grow up. He is
Peter Pan.
He's working a dead-end job that's not going to go anywhere. And he is having his daddy pay for a fucking mini fridge for his adult fucking room in a home with 2 other roommates. And
that he's probably never going to move out of.
And if he does move out, like, congrats, but it's not going to be the summer better.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're so much better than him in every way. Like, I was trying to tell Kristin the whole time, I'm like, I just know that you can do so much better.
And, like
you
right.
can do so much better. And
yeah.
I know that you like him, and I know that he's funny and, like, whatever qualities you saw in him, but, like, you are so far out of his league. It's insane.
Yeah, and
in every way, emotionally, physically,
and I think I started,
educationally.
and I think, yeah, and I think the more time went on, the more that those things were like puzzle pieces.
Apparent.
Yeah, being like fit.
Yeah.
You know? And I was just like, yeah, I don't think that I mentally am going to be able to put up with this, because I work and have worked very, very hard for what I have and where I've brought myself educationally. And I never want to bring someone down for not having the same things that I do, but I really value someone that has drive and determination in life and wants to continue to be a better person each and every day. And he was not giving me that, and he was so comfortable being in this like man-child era of his life, and having like not really like taking accountability for anything. But I was like
no real responsibilities, it felt like.
No. And that I was just like, I'm sure that you, like, I know that you have a lot going on behind the scenes, as we all do.
As we all do.
But like, there's something about the way that he talked about it that made me feel like his issues were way more important than mine. And like, no one else was going through what he was going through, when in reality, it's like so far the opposite.
Yeah. And
yeah, I just know that the person and partner that I'm going to be with, if I'm going to be with someone for the rest of my life, is not him. And it's not someone that does those things, says those things, or acts that way, and doesn't have any drive about anything in life. Because that's one thing that is so attractive to me. And what actually makes Houston a little bit more attractive to me, because he has drive to do something with his life. Mm-hmm. That's more than Pizza Hut. Because
it goes so much further than what you do for a job.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about how much money. If I love someone, I don't care how much money you make. But do you work hard? Do you have your shit together?
Yeah.
Like, can you like live a successful life? Because that shows how you're going to be in a relationship. If you can't put drive and effort and have passion in your life, in your own life, you think that you're going to bring that to a relationship? Absolutely not. You're going to do the bare minimum in every way.
And I feel like this is a whole different conversation, or can go into a whole different conversation too, of like, scientifically, the more successful you are as a woman, the less likely, or the harder time you have with finding a suitable partner.
Yeah.
Because especially like the older you get and the more successful you are, scientifically, there's a study somewhere, I swear.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
But like, it's harder for women of a higher caliber, and I am speaking highly of both of us, and I don't care how that sounds.
No, because we've worked really hard to get where we are.
Yeah, and like, I have gotten a lot of help along the way in life, and I am very privileged, but I have done almost everything myself. Everything that I have wanted, I've done for myself.
Yeah.
So far in life. And I know that like the people that have helped me along the way, if I have not paid them back in one way or the other, like, I will.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I value those people and I'm not using them for anything. And I feel like people like him use people for things.
Yeah, for an ego boost.
Yeah, and like, it's like,
he wants someone who's going to worship him and thinks he's the greatest thing without him having to actually do anything.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to have to put in the work. He just wants someone to like bow down to him.
Yeah. So moving forward, what I'm looking for in a partner is drive, determination, like average to large wiener.
Oh my god.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like it's whatever. Like, someone say whatever the fuck I want.
We said we were going to be real.
Listen, we're girls in our late 20s. We're about to enter our 30s. We're living life. It's real. It sucks. We're in the trenches when it comes to dating. And
Hey,
I feel like, well,
I feel like I'm doing really well.
You are doing really, really well. Really well. I feel like we keep going back and forth with like doing well and in the trenches. And I'm hoping it just works out for the both of us.
I know. I wish we were like always at the same place at the same time.
Me too. I feel like it's always flip-flop. So we need to like figure that shit out. We need to like get into alignment. I was really, really happy when I wasn't talking to men at all.
Yeah.
And I guess my co-star was right, because I started to think about it and I was like, there are patterns of like, when I am not talking to any man and I have no roster, none, empty, bench is cleared, field is clear, it's empty. I have always been
unemployed.
Yeah, but I have always been very at peace. And I think what I carried into this situation was, before this, that's where I was. And I think it's helped me kind of just like say fuck you and move on. Like, I deserve more than that.
Yeah.
And it gave me the strength to like say those things to him, which like to be honest, like I should have said them far sooner. But like,
sometimes it just takes a while to like really see the true colors.
Like whatever, like whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I get stronger with every bullshit that happens. I think we all do. And I also think that like maybe like nothing to do with him, but maybe I just need to like take a little break and find that peace and calm again.
Maybe you'll meet someone in the wild.
Yeah. And it's like I'm still dating, I'm still open to it, but like,
and we've been going out and like doing more fun things lately, like where we actually are meeting people.
But I'm thinking dating apps just like might not be for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like moving on, living life, and yeah, that's all I got.
Yay.
Nothing at all compared to The Liar, but I just want you guys to know what trenches I have been fucking on my hands and knees crawling through the past month and a half of my life.
Just insane audacity coming from these men.
It's just like crazy. Everyone that I've told, literally every single person that I've told about this guy, they're like, what?
It's crazy by itself, but it's so crazy because of how far out of his league you are.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like I see that more now.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thanks for tuning in.
We're moving on.
We'll keep you guys posted with July date recaps. Next week will be our June Roses and Thorns and Flunk of the Month. And then we'll see where it takes us.
We'll see where it takes us. The episodes after that for the next like 3 to 4 weeks will be
us will be separate.
Physically, but again, together virtually, spiritually, mentally.
Yeah, our brains have synced up to a whole new level because today when we did our intention journal for our Sunday reset, both of our intentions for the week, without knowing, we wrote lock in.
Literally.
Like we had the same intention for the week. That hasn't happened. We've had very similar ones, but we've never had the exact same intention.
But like verbatim, like
lock in. Like that's it. Yeah.
If you follow us on Instagram, hint, hint, you would have seen it on our story that we literally wrote the same exact thing. But
which leads us directly into the end of this episode, which is go follow us on all social media, TikTok, Instagram,
YouTube, Spotify. All Kouch Chronicles, K for Couch, K for Chronicles. And that's it. We will see you guys next time. Just make sure to follow us, like our videos.
And subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. Okay, love you guys.
Love you guys. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye now.